Be yourself, and for him that means showing your emotions and letting your players let them see it.
Michael Husted kicks off for the Raiders, and this will go into the end zone and will not be returned, and the Miami Dolphins will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The quarterback in his 3rd season out of the University of Washington, Damon Huard, has completed 62% passes he has thrown, a couple of touchdown passes, and a couple of interceptions.
Well, Damon here at the Miami Dolphins, what they want to do. Last week, they really came out against the Philadelphia Eagles and just ran the football. Today, look for them to open it up a little more, try to get their passing game going, because this Raider defense has been tough against the run.
They'll start it off with a pitch to Cecil Collins as they keep it on the ground. He turns the corner. First down yardage and more as he's bumped out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. A look at the Miami offense, tackle to tackle. Richmond Webb, Mark Dixon, Tim Ruddy, Kevin Gogan, and James Brown. Collins and Stanley Pritchett are in the backfield. Tony Martin and O.J. McDuffie, the wide receivers, and Troy Drayton, number 84, is the tight end.
Jimmy Johnson yesterday said we can run the football at this Raider defense, but we got to do it on the edges against their defensive ends. Maybe a little undersized. They think they can block going inside. Very tough against Russell Maryland and Darrell Russell.
Well, 2 tight end offense, and here comes Collins again. Hit behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. A loss of about 5. It'll make it 2nd and long. A look at the Oakland Raiders defense. A couple of Temple Owls at the defensive ends in Harris and Johnstone. Russell Maryland and Darrell Russell stop up the middle. K.D. Williams, Greg Beekert, Richard Harvey, the linebackers, and a terrific Oakland secondary. Charles Woodson and Eric Allen on the corners. Eric Anthony Newman are the safeties.
The big thing with this Raiders defense today, when Miami is in obvious passing situations, Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator, told us we will spy Damon Huard all the time. We want to keep him in the pocket today.
3 wide receivers for Huard. On 2nd down, throws to the flat. Incomplete, intended for Stanley Pritchett.
You know, talking about that Raider defense, Greg, and I think it's a made by Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator. There he is. Make Damon Huard stay in the pocket, look down the field, go through his progressions, and make the throws that way. What he's been doing in his 2 games that he's played up in New England and against Philadelphia last week, moving around quite a bit, letting his receivers stop and restart their patterns and get wide open and making easy throws.
J.J. Johnson and Stanley Pritchett join Huard in the backfield on 3rd and long. Huard going to roll to the far side and goes down. Darrell Russell just telling us yesterday morning how he's kind of frustrated because he hasn't been able to make plays.
Well, he tells his number 96 inside. Look at big Darrell Russell to the outside. The sprint out pass catches all the defensive linemen off guard. In Miami, they just don't do a good job of readjusting once the quarterback moves and getting in the way of Darrell Russell.
Tom Hutton will kick it away to Darian Gordon. Gordon at the 42. Midfield. 40. And brought down inside the Miami 30-yard line by Larry Izzo. 35-yard punt and a 28-yard return by Gordon. And Rich Gannon leads the offense out onto the field. You see his numbers. Broke his left wrist on the last play of the game in 2 places. Last week against the Jets, wearing a cast on it.
Yeah, just looking at that cast, Greg, I was watching him warm up. It gives him a little more flexibility in that left hand than I originally thought he would have.
Napoleon Kaufman straight ahead. Pickup of 3 on the play. It'll be about 2nd. And a look at the Raiders offensive line. Mo Collins, Steve Wisniewski, Barrett Robbins, Gennaro DiNapoli, and Lincoln Kennedy. Kaufman and John Ritchie in the backfield. Tim Brown, James Jett, the wide receivers, and the tight end is Ricky Dudley.
Just looking at this Raider offense today, hard to run the football in the Miami Dolphins. They're stout inside, very fast on the outside. It might come down to winning some battles one-on-one with these receivers against Miami's defensive backs.
Gannon goes down. Darrell Gardner, number 90, was in, and a loss of 4 on the play. Let's take a look at the Miami defense. Sounds like a law firm up front. Owens and Bowens and Gardner and Taylor.
Yeah, they'll charge you a lot.
The linebackers are Derek Rogers, Zach Thomas, and Robert Jones. In the secondary, Terrell Buckley and Sam Madison on the corners. Brock Marion, Calvin Jackson at safety.
Greg, talking to Jimmy Johnson, when you've watched Rich Gannon play, this guy can really move around. George Hill, the defensive coordinator, they will not spy him at all today, he said. They're going to let the speed of their defensive linemen take scrambling of Rich Gannon.
Quick drop, quick pass, incomplete. Intended for Tim Brown on the quick slant.
And this is the one thing, when you play this Miami Dolphin defense, Terrell Buckley on Tim Brown, little short pass. Most people in the NFL, a lot of teams, they will let you throw some short passes. Rich Gannon and John Gruden, they say, the one thing about this Miami defense, they contest every single throw.
Michael Husted has made 9 of his last 10 field goals under 50 yards. This is a 49-yarder. Going to be long enough and straight enough. And off of the big punt return by Darian Gordon, the Raiders turn it into a 3-point lead here in the first quarter. For it that it's Halloween, because it's really just another day here in Oakland.
Another day. I didn't see anything here today because of Halloween that I haven't seen every year that I've come to this Coliseum.
Loss of 2 yards on the drive. Houston's 49-yard field goal has the Raiders on top. This kickoff will be returned by Brock Marion. 25. And doesn't get much further than the 25-yard line. Maybe at the 26th, that'll be the line of scrimmage when we come back to Oakland. 11:44 to play in the first. I am. Dan Marino.
Well, your mom's going to be mad that you didn't say his name right either.
Won't be the first time. 3-0 Oakland, the Dolphins. From their own 26-yard line. And running room up the middle and across the 30 to about the 33-yard line for Cecil Collins. Let's check in with our man on the sidelines. Happy Halloween, Armin Katayan.
Thanks, Greg. You know, you mentioned Dan Marino and that nerve problem in his neck and his shoulder. He went to California this week, met with a specialist. The recommendation is, according to Jimmy Johnson, he does not play next week against Tennessee. In fact, he does not wear any shoulder pads at all next week. He will then fly back to California and return for evaluation. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thanks. Pickup of 8 on the play by Cecil Collins at 2nd and 2. Collins again. May have lost the yard on the play. Greg Biekert, number 54, from the middle linebacker position to make the stop.
It was kind of nice talking to Jimmy Johnson yesterday. We asked him about an episode he had the week before. He walked into the offensive line. He's unhappy with his running game, and he gave him a good lecture. Week they came out and they dominated. They really did a good job making holes for the running backs, and one of the offensive linemen, I think, said it best. He says when he walks in the room, you know it's not going to be good, and when his face gets really red, then you know he's serious. J.J.
Johnson into the backfield on 3rd and 3, and he's going to run it, and he isn't going to get a first down. He may have lost another yard. K.D. Williams this time in on the stop.
Well, the one thing, the Oakland Raiders play the percentages, 2nd and short, 3rd and short. You got to believe the Miami Dolphins are going to run that football. They gain the line of scrimmage. Not enough Dolphins to block all the Raiders.
Loss of 2 on the play. And Tom Hutton to kick again to Darian Gordon, whose big return set up the field goal last time. This one will back Gordon up, and he'll pull it in for 10. And nothing but Dolphins him. He doesn't make it back to the 20-yard line. 56-yard punt, 7-yard return. And gee, Larry Izzo in on a special teams tackle. There's a shock. Rich Gannon, former Minnesota Viking, Washington Redskin, Kansas City Chief, and now in his first year here with the Oakland Raiders. Will get things started at his own 19-yard line.
No, I'm sorry, Greg. Just watching him that first series, even though it was only 4 plays, it looks like that cast in his left hand or his left wrist is not going to be a big problem for him.
Tyrone Wheatley is in the backfield. Oakland Raiders. And he takes the pitch. And he's going to go nowhere. Brought down at the 15-yard line. Looks like he may have lost about 3. Jason Taylor for the tackle.
The one thing when you play the Miami Dolphins, what makes it so hard to run, and the Oakland Raiders kind of know it, is because of their corners. Look outside, 2 singles, bump and run, and then look at all the people up here. It's just hard to run the football. Look at that. There's a person in every single slot. There's just nowhere to run for Tyrone Wheatley.
Randy now replaced Wheatley in the backfield. Gannon to throw. Incomplete. And again, trying to hit Tim Brown on that quick slant.
Boy, what you notice there, when you run over the middle against these Miami Dolphins, there's going to be this number 54 there, Zach Thomas, and that's his job, to stand in the middle and to really help defensive backs out. Whoever is chasing a wide receiver, they know they have Zach Thomas most of the time inside helping them out.
Zach strikes you as being hungry for the football. Might be the best way to describe it.
He has just got great common sense and feel for the game of football, and he's able to really take advantage of it with his athletic ability. 3rd
and long, Gannon far side, incomplete, and again Tim Brown is the intended receiver. And Patrick Surtain was the man on him.
Well, what did we say earlier? The Miami Dolphins will contest every play. Watch Patrick Surtain. Look, this is going right into his hands. He knew he had help to the inside. All he had to really do was cover Tim Brown to the outside. Tim Brown runs outside. No way to get open.
So O.J. McDuffie and Nate Jacquette back up to take the kick from Leo Aragus. Jacquette from the 33. Spins. Gets to the 40, and then just a of Oakland Raiders are there to meet him. 50-yard kick, 7-yard return. And we'll be right back.
That's at www.webtv.com and buy Blue from American Express.
The people who love Phil Simms and I the most, welcome back to Oakland.
You got to brush your teeth. You got to take care of them.
Get your checkups. The Dolphins from the 40-yard line, and Damon Heward is going to throw. Going to go deep. He has man beaten, underthrown, and now incomplete. Tony Martin came back for the pass, and then it sailed over his head.
Oh, Tony Martin was way behind the defense that time. Charles Woodson kind of caught off guard, but what really happened, watch Damon Heward as he makes the fake, as he plants his foot, he slips. Now he's too late with the ball. He gets underneath it. The ball's hanging up there, and then the wind kind of takes it over both of them's head.
A bit of a misjudgment on Tony Martin's part. 2nd and 10. Heward, far side. Conrad out of the backfield, dives for 1st down yardage, and he got it.
Rob Conrad, the fullback, the one thing Jimmy Johnson, even teams that the Miami Dolphins have played, the one thing they bring up, this person, big fullback, you think be a lead blocker for your halfback, but what he does best of all is catch the football coming out of the backfield.
The ball just across midfield and into Oakland Raider territory. 1st down for Miami. The pitch for Collins, and now this will not count. Whistle blow as flags fall.
Well, the one thing you can see early, and I've noticed already, Miami's had some success going outside, couple good runs. The Raiders are going to try to stop it.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 78 of the offense, the 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
That's Richmond Webb. Our referee today is Ron Winter, by the way. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, what's going to happen, the Raiders, they're going to give you a chance to throw the football down the field on 1st down. If the Miami Dolphins, they play fake it, there's going to be one-on-ones down the field with nobody else around. Just are you willing to take the chance and do it?
So it's 1st and 15 for Miami. The Dolphins, by the way, have scored just 1 touchdown in the 1st quarter over their last 11 games.
Did it last week.
That was James Johnson's 18-yard run against the Eagles.
You know, last week the Miami Dolphins just win. They actually take the first 2 drives. Should have been up 14-0, but penalties have really been hurting the offense when they get into scoring territory.
Heward floats left and throws and completes it at the 45 to the 43-yard line, and Cecil Collins. And pretty good patience shown there by Damon Heward.
Well, that's what he's been doing in the 2 games that he's played so far this year. Buying that extra time, just making something out of nothing. There's nobody open down the field. You're the quarterback, look down the field. Troy Drayton got to move. See the defense chasing him. They're going to do that. When he breaks the pocket, they are going to get after Damon Heward. But a good job of adjustment by the running back.
Heward now with a 2nd and 3. And they'll on the ground. First down yardage and more up the middle to the 36-yard line for Cecil Collins. We were talking with Jimmy Johnson. You brought up the point, Phil. There may not be another team in the league that has harder runners at this stage of the game than Cecil Collins and J.J. Johnson.
Oh, what a terrific little combo he's got going. Both of them rookies, and I like the way he's doing it. He's kind of playing them off of each other. Cecil Collins, you better get in there and you better run hard and keep running hard, because I got this other guy, J.J. Johnson, waiting for his chance.
Both rookies. Collins out of McNeese State, J.J. Johnson out of Mississippi State. First down, Heward to throw. Still on the move, throws far side, incomplete, intended for Troy Drayton.
Well, Troy Drayton was open right away, play action fake. Big spaces in that Raider secondary, and Damon Heward, what happens again? Kind of loses his footing, got to get underneath. You got to realize that the slick and don't take big steps. Watch as he goes down to, see, they're thinking run, they let him go, wide open. Sees him too late.
And throws it too high.
And too high. The safety gets over there. Anthony Newman.
Heward on 2nd and 10. Throws incomplete, intended for Conrad out of the backfield. And Heward was under some pressure from the far side.
Well, last week this Raider defense beat up a little by the New York Jets. The Jets came in here. The Raiders' run defense was ranked high, hard to run against, and the Jets ran the ball up and down the field. So this Raider defense, they know Miami's going to come in here and try to run the football. There won't be any surprises when you play the Dolphins offense.
3rd and 10, and Heward out of the shotgun. All kinds of time over the middle, complete, first down yardage and more. 10-5 down to the 2-yard line is O.J. McDuffie. 34 yards, 1st and goal for the Dolphins.
Well, Damon Heward, good job this time. Hangs in her shotgun. Watch him. Here comes the snap. Almost drops it. Hangs on to it. The Raiders only have 3 defensive linemen up on the line of scrimmage. They come with some extra people, but it's too late. All that time, it lets O.J. McDuffie go all the way across the field, find the open spot for the completion.
So 1st and goal. Conrad and J.J. Johnson in the backfield. Johnson. Nowhere to go. James Harris led the defensive charge.
Well, let's see. The very first play of the game, they pitched the ball to Cecil Collins. He went right, got good yardage. Now, they've gone back to that same side, I think, 4 times, and they haven't seen the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Pritchett and J.J. Johnson in the backfield on 2nd and goal from the 3. Three tight ends on the field for the Dolphins. Heward wants to throw it.
Slipped again. Slipped again. And what happens, I can see why he's slipping. As he's going back, let's see what happens here. Watch his feet and see if they get past his body. Yes, he's leaning. Here's his head. His feet are getting behind him, and that is making him lose his footing. And Kippy Brown, you should be upset. Damon Ewert, that's 3 slips. You got to make the adjustment.
3rd and goal. No time. Ewert rolling right, throws, end zone, incomplete, batted away. Darian Gordon appeared to get a hand on it.
It really is amazing. We've done enough games now, Greg. We've watched this Dolphin offense self-destruct probably about 8 to 10 times inside the 10-yard line. It's usually a penalty, not blocking, whatever. This time, it's all there. They just can't make the plays. People wide open.
66 over here, 60.
Olindo Mare, 17 straight field goals. This one from 21 yards out. The place down, the kick, and we have a tie game. On the sideline, John Gruden says, hey, way to go defense. 4:53 to play.
Watch Damon Ewert. Watch how his feet get outside. They get away from his hips. They're not underneath him, and that causes that little slip. And misses the wide open Troy Drayton for the touchdown.
On the kickoff, Napoleon Kaufman inside the 5-yard line, and he slips and goes down at about the 12 or 13-yard line. And while we have a moment, let's remind you, Monday on CBS, how do you enjoy a romantic on the sideline? Damon Ewert now, looks like they're changing the cleats on the bottom of his shoes.
Probably going to some longer cleats.
So the Raiders start deep in their own territory. And Gannon to throw. Has all kinds of time over the middle. It's complete to the 25-yard line. Tim Brown.
Well, talking to Zach Thomas last night, what was the first words out of his mouth?
Tim Brown.
Yeah, Tim Brown. Over the middle, anytime Rich Gannon scrambles, Tim Brown moves, finds that open spot in the middle. Look at it. He's supposed to stay outside. Quarterback scrambles, he moves, and a perfect throw on the run by Rich Gannon.
That's 99 straight games with a reception for Tim Brown in his 12th season out of Notre Dame. Double tight ends now for the Raiders on first down. Napoleon Kaufman, the only back behind Gannon. He takes the pitch. Right side, turns the corner, first down yardage. Run out of bounds by Brock Marion.
This is something the Miami Dolphins haven't seen all year long. That is another team trying to run outside and the runner having the speed to outrun them and get there. And that time it looked like the Dolphins defense is going to stop them. Napoleon Kaufman for about a 2-yard loss. He has enough speed to still get out there and beat them for a positive gain.
The Raiders' 136-plus rushing yards a game is the best in the NFL. First down from the 38. Gannon, this side, batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete.
Now, Greg, you know, not to go back why players slip. Now, it's hard for runners and skilled people because they got to run and make cuts. But for quarterbacks, people who are stationary, know what they're going to do. When you lean, instead of having 8 cleats in the ground getting you traction, you only have 4. That's what causes you to, lose your balance.
So the length of the cleats will go from what to what?
I'm not sure. They'll about double. They'll go up to near an inch long or 3/4 of an inch, which is I can never wear as a player because I didn't pick my feet up high enough. I'd trip and fall if I wore those things.
Second down. Handoff straight ahead.
Wow.
Tyrone Wheatley in a collision at the line of scrimmage.
As you could hear that from here, Tyrone Wheatley.
Have been Zach Thomas.
What did he tell us yesterday? He says, all my teammates laugh at me. And I said, well, why do they laugh at you? He says, because I just run. There's no finesse. I just run it up in there, and that was a good example. But he met an object that doesn't move too much, and that is Zach Thomas on defense.
Tyrone Wheatley, an ex-Miami Dolphin, cut by Jimmy Johnson at the end of training camp.
Jimmy Johnson had a lot of nice things to say about him, though. Even before we knew we were coming out here to do this game a couple weeks ago, it's a good thing.
Gannon, straight drop over the middle. Tim Brown with running room. Midfield, 40, penalty marker is down. Brown down the sideline and pushed out of bounds. 42 yards, let's check the penalty marker. We'll bring this one back.
I couldn't see what happened. All I know is there's a players in the middle, and all of a sudden, Tim Brown comes flying out of the pack.
Pass interference. Number 85 of the offense. A 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
That's wide receiver Terry Mickens.
Look, when you're playing the Miami Dolphins defense, you know they're going to play you man-to-man. Tim Brown going across the formation, and that is an absolute blatant pick by Terry Mickens. Good call by the official. The Raiders do a lot of nice plays where they let their players cross, and they make it really hard for defensive players to follow you across the middle, but of course you can't block it.
So instead of being in the red zone, the Raiders are now looking at 3rd and 17. Gannon floating under the gun and goes down. Number 93, Trace Armstrong.
Boy, Trace Armstrong, John Gruden talked about him, and he says this is the guy that just goes 100% of the time. Never takes a play off when he's in the game. But again, look at the defense. They get good discipline. They stay in the pocket. Jason Taylor makes Rich Gannon reverse and go back the other way. Trace Armstrong in good position to get the sack.
So Leo Aragus to get the kick away. O.J. McDuffie and Nate Jaquette are deep. Clock continues to move. We have 2 minutes to play here in the first, and Aragus with the kick that'll bounce between the 40 and the 45-yard line, and that's where it's down. And we'll take a timeout and come back to Oakland with the score tied at 3. 43-yard line. Straight ahead for yardage is J.J. Johnson. Johnson, the 2nd-round draft pick out of Mississippi State.
Yeah, he had a good look, a good-looking game last week. He came in. What he brings is, I think, just a little more deception. Cecil Collins, he's big, low to the ground. He's going to run you over. J.J. Johnson, he'll run it in there hard too, but what he has is wiggles a running back. I think he gives you a greater chance for those big runs if the hole is there.
2nd and 5 to the Dolphins, winning the battle of total yards so far, although the score is even on the board. Heward to his left. Steps up, gonna run midfield, and brought down at the 48-yard line. Tony Bryant tackled him from behind.
I'll tell you, this Damon Heward, and I can watch him here, and people say scrambling. Quarterback, he's not fast. I can see that, but he just has a nice knack and a good feel for the pressure, and he never waits too long to step up in there. And he just took a play that where there was nothing there and got a couple yards and keeps the Dolphin offense in good position.
Damon Heward pretty happy when he met with us last night after his alma mater knocked off Stanford in the Pac-10. 2 tight ends, Johnson and Pritchett in the backfield. 3rd and short, and penalty marker flies. This one. And it's going to be 3rd and 6.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 61 of the offense. A 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's the center, Tim Ruddy.
Well, he must have got a little flinch with the football in his hand, made a sudden movement, because Darrell Russell, boy, did he get a good jump off the snap of that ball. But bad penalty, you have 3rd and less than a yard. You're almost guaranteed that you'll get 3 more chances to get another first down. Now you put yourself into, at best, a 50-50 proposition.
From the shotgun, Heward. Time over the middle, incomplete. O.J. McDuffie was in the center of the field, and now the Dolphins will be forced to kick. And this will be the last play of the first quarter.
Well, the one thing this game is not short on today, and that is good defensive backs. Both sides have good starters, some solid backups, and they're able to cover these 3 and 4 wide receiver sets.
Hutton kicking to Gordon. Gordon, fair catch, and pulls it in at the 14-yard line. 40-yard punt and no return. And with that time expires here in the first quarter, Miami and the Oakland Raiders tied at 3. We're back for the start of the second quarter on this Halloween Sunday right after this. Along with Armin Katayan and Phil Simms, Greg Gumbel back in Oakland to start the second quarter. Miami and Oakland tied at 3, and the Raiders get it started. 14-yard line. On the run, straight up the middle, is Napoleon Kaufman.
I think when you look at this Dolphins defense, just the fact that Jimmy Johnson came in last night and says, not going to do anything about the quarterback, we're not going to spy him. It kind of shows you the confidence and the arrogance that they have in their players, that he believes in their system. It's solid. It's been well coached, and he believes in these players. And well, he should.
Gannon to throw. Over the middle, in and out of the hands of Tim Brown. How many times have we seen that play already today?
Well, you're going to see it a lot. There was Zach Thomas. It seems kind of funny, doesn't it? When Tim Brown goes across the middle, guess who has him? Zach Thomas. And when he explains it to you, the Dolphins, what they do if a wide receiver goes short across the field, the defensive backs let him go and they drop back and cover somebody else. And Zach Thomas, we've said it before, he plays what he calls a lurking position inside. That means hang around, wait for that first guy, covering. Doesn't matter who it is.
Of the 6 passes Gannon has thrown today, 4 of them have been Tim Brown's way. 3rd and 6, they'll keep around far side. Randy Jordan running room, first down across the 25 to about the 28, 29-yard line.
That is a well-designed play by the Oakland Raiders. Get the wide receivers coming down. They block people down, get offensive linemen to pull outside. And Jordan does a good job, sees a little crease and plowed up in there and get the first down.
Randy Jordan in his 6th season out of North Carolina has 2 rushing touchdowns so far this season. And now he's replaced by Tyrone Wheatley in the backfield on first down. Gannon throws decided complete. Tim Brown was here. And Gannon looking none too pleased.
Well, listen, he did the right thing. Throw it out there and just give your guy like 1 in 100 chance, because it would make me nervous throwing the ball outside to the sidelines against Miami the corners, especially Terrell Buckley, who likes to go for the interceptions.
Gannon now just 1 of 7 for 14 yards, and he's been sacked twice. Wheatley fights his way to the 30-yard line. You know, we're asking Rich Gannon about that wrist and how uncomfortable it was going to be, because there are 2 things that struck us. Number 1, taking the snap from center, and number 2, when he has to hand off with that left hand, and the most he would concede is that it might be a little uncomfortable.
Talking to this guy over the last couple of years, Rich Gannon, the one thing you are not going to get him to ever do, feel sorry for himself, concede anything. Look, that's the way it is. Let's go out there and play. He's just a very competitive person. He's in a really good situation here with the Oakland Raiders, and he doesn't even care about their wrist. It's just not going to affect the way he thinks and plays today.
3rd and 8, throws it. It is incomplete, and Zach Thomas was there trying to wrest it from Randy Jordan.
And the Miami defense, they're throwing a shutout so far, I think, down the field. Watch Zach Thomas, number 54. This time he's waiting for Rich Gannon to scramble, but when the back comes out of the backfield late, he sees it, diagnoses it, and gets in position, almost makes the interception.
Randy Jordan fighting that football off like it was something criminal.
Rich Gannon sometimes drops that thing way down low and slings it out there, so it's probably hard to pick up.
McDuffie and Jaquette deep. From the 28, Jaquette gets a big block. 45, 50, 40-yard line. Charles Mincy finally brought him down. 41-yard kick, 32-yard return, and Damon Heward with some pretty good field position to work with. Nance, Craig James, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville, scores and highlights. What could be more fun than Halloween in the studio back in New York? That's coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report. Conrad and Cecil Collins behind Heward for first down at the Oakland 40-yard line. Collins gets tripped up at the line, falls forward for about 2. This is the 5th time Miami has had the ball on offense. 3 of the first 4 drives have been 3 and out.
Well, the one thing this Miami Dolphins offense is allowed to do, it's kind of to be boring. Because when you play with a defense like they got, Jimmy Johnson doesn't care. Just punt it back, we'll stop them, we'll get it back in better field position, and let's try again. So they're very patient, very conservative because of their defense.
You know, Lindo Mare is a pretty good weapon with the field goal. 2nd and 8. Heward will throw. Going to go deep down the far sideline. Incomplete. Oronde Gadsden, the intended receiver down there. And Charles Woodson running along.
That might be the hardest spot to complete a pass. You see Damon Heward 3 for 11. I was watching the players when they were warming up. They were running down that right sideline, and nobody could catch the ball because as they look up in the sky, they see the big, the bright sun.
So now it's 3rd and 8. Miami not very successful on 3rd down. J.J. Johnson in the backfield. And the whistle blows.
Must be something about 3rd down in this Miami offense.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 65 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Right guard Kevin Donnelly.
Yeah, isn't it something though? 3rd down. They're going. Somebody's going to jump off sides. They're going to do something a little harder on themselves.
What they're doing is they're inviting another visit from the head coach. 3rd and 13. Steps up, sideline pass, batted down and almost picked off by Marquise Walker. Out of field goal range, the Dolphins will kick it away.
Well, the one thing, watch the coverage down the field. A good job by the Raiders defense. The one thing we know, though, that Damon Heward is not going to be checking off to certain passes in situations today like he did last week. And O.J. McDuffie thought he was open. Nope, he was not.
Sky high punt. Bounces inside the 15 and downed inside the 10-yard line. So the Raiders will start their own territory right after this. Welcome back to Oakland, everyone. The Raiders will start 1st down from their own 9-yard line with 11:40 to play here in the first half of a 3-3 ball game. And they'll start on the ground. Kaufman breaks it to the outside. 15, 20, 22, 23-yard line, 1st down, showing some signs of offense and in what has been, fittingly enough for Halloween, a very ugly football game offensively.
Been so far, but Greg, we knew they'd coming in here today. Both defenses are physical, but this Miami defense has won the battle so far. Rushing Rich Gannon, giving the running backs nowhere to run, and when they have some room, they meet Zach Thomas in the middle and using their speed to stop Rich Gannon from scrambling around.
Wheatley now in the backfield with Richie on 1st down, and Gannon will throw. Tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete as Zach Thomas made a dive for it.
But as we were preparing to do this game in the last couple days, we talk about it, and I think we're all in agreement, everybody that works with us, that it was going to be most likely be low scoring, all about the defense, and there's going to be a lot of ugly plays on offense. And that's not saying anything bad about these offenses. It's just good players on the other side of the ball.
You hate to say we haven't been disappointed.
No, that's right. And just look at the yards. The Raiders, no yards passing so far.
2nd and 10 on the ground and not there for Wheatley. 2 yards.
Well, the one thing we've seen that the Raiders, they've got Napoleon Kaufman in there a couple times, and his speed is letting him get outside, and it's gotten some big positive yards. But when you run an inside against the Miami Dolphins, it is almost impossible. Daryl Gardner and Tim Bowens inside. They are so big and physical, they can hold up, and then those linebackers can run around and always make the tackles.
Big play here for Gannon on 3rd and 8. Throws, intercepted. Terrell Buckley looking for running room and losing yardage all the way back to the 50 now. Oh my goodness.
It turned into a punt. But what happened? They kept Rich Gannon in the pocket. And what happens down the field? Indecision between the quarterback and wide receiver. That's Rich Gannon. Now right here, he really wants to move, but he can't. He stays in the pocket, and the receiver down the field stops Terry Mickens when Rich Gannon thought maybe he's going to keep coming across the middle. And Terrell Buckley, good job of playing the football, bad job of running with it once you picked it off.
By the time he finished scampering around, he had taken 16 yards off the field.
Is that what he lost?
He lost 16 yards on the play. But an interception. And now Heward with the pitch to Collins. Collins fighting his way back toward midfield. And let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin?
Thanks, Greg. You know, I just watched Rich Gannon walk off the field, and he was upset. Obviously, he goes over to the sideline. John Gruden was right next to him, and he kind of wanted to walk away. And John was like an old school teacher. He said, "Hey, sit down. I have something I want to say to you." He stood actually bent down right in front of him and talked to him for about a minute or so, and he just walked away. Was not too happy. Back to you.
All right, Armin. You know, you look at his numbers, 1 of 10. 15 yards, and you think, well, maybe he's having trouble with his wrist, but his left wrist hasn't had a thing to do with it today.
I think he looks like he's in rhythm throwing it. The ball is coming out of his hand clean. Nobody is open to throw the football to.
Heward throws far side, and this one is intercepted. Oh, it's caught, excuse me, complete to O.J. McDuffie.
Hard to tell when you look from here, Greg, but that's right. Damon Heward, O.J. McDuffie at the line of scrimmage. Watch what he does. He's going to try to fake and then turns up the sideline. Good coverage, but Damon Heward tries to throw it behind the defender. And O.J. McDuffie does a good job of making the adjustment. Darian Gordon in good position, but the receiver saw the ball first and got to it.
So Miami first down now at the 31-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground with J.J. Johnson, and Johnson close to the 25.
See, they thought coming in this game, and we talked to Jimmy Johnson, they thought they could roll outside, but I have not seen, except for one play, success outside. But surprisingly, going inside, where the two best run defenders for the Raiders are, they're having success running straight ahead.
2nd and 4. Most of their success on the ground up the middle. Heward throws out of the backfield, complete. Pritchett, and Pritchett out of bounds, and enough for a first down. We asked John Gruden, you know, these Miami Dolphins have been in here the last several years. He said they've come in here twice and defeated us soundly.
Well, he had a little problem last year. He had a backup quarterback in there. Donald Hollis didn't do a very good job, but you can see why they've struggled against the Miami Dolphins. Defensively, the Dolphins just overpower them. Puts their defense in too many tough situations.
First down from the 20. On the ground. And Johnson picks up about 3. You know, 13 takeaways, you'd think that you'd get more scoring off of those takeaways than that, but not the nature of the Miami Dolphins offense.
Well,
these
Greg,
days.
we've done enough Dolphin games so far to see all the reasons and understand why they don't take advantage of them. Penalties themselves after they get them, and just not executing in really crucial situations where they could put games away.
2nd and 8. Heward eludes the rush, throws this side. Johnson, 10, 5, and out of bounds just shy of the goal line.
This play almost looks like the one he scored last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, except they handed him the football then. When J.J. Johnson gets the ball in his hands, he looks like he has that little extra burst or speed that allows him to get past defenders and break tackles. Damon here, nice job, stepped out of the way, and J.J. Johnson raised his hands, caught the attention of his quarterback. Look at that, just runs right through the tackles, gets down inside to 1.
Conrad and Collins behind Heward on 1st and goal from the 1. That's Conrad in motion. Collins straight ahead, touchdown.
Well, I'm kind of impressed so far, the Miami Dolphins, just the interior running of the football. Maybe that, you know, sometimes, and it does help when a coach goes in and chooses out a group of players. It makes them focus, it makes them play a little harder, and they have definitely been tougher, the offensive line, so far this game and last week.
Jimmy Johnson has to be happy to see a touchdown off of a turnover here today. Mare, the point after is, and the clock is stopped on the field as we approach 6.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. The touchdown gives the Dolphins a 10-3 lead. Top the AFC East today, Buffalo with a late victory over Baltimore today, and New England playing against Arizona. On the kickoff, it's Napoleon Kaufman, 15-20, and out to the 25-yard line. Gee, little hitting going on between these teams today. Timeout on the field. We'll be back.
Volvo for life. And by Gateway. Call Gateway and connect with us.
Another day here in Oakland, 10-3 the score. Let's check in with Armin Catane. Armin, what you got?
Thanks, Greg. Well, it's hot down here in a couple of different ways. Obviously, the heat from the game, but also the heat on the sidelines. Troy Drayton was very upset about something. Came off the field. He was in the face of Robert Jones. They were going back at it. Jimmy Johnson came over. Dan Marino came over. Not sure what it was. Troy was definitely not happy about something. Back to you.
All right, Armin. From the 15, Gannon, straight drop over the middle, incomplete. The deep receiver was number 82, James Jett.
That was a good shot right there. Rich Gannon throwing the football down the middle. And did you just notice how many players were in there? The Miami Dolphins, they look very concerned or centered. They are going to stop the inside passing of the Oakland Raiders. They want them to throw near the sidelines if you want to have success.
Well, Rich Gannon not exactly piling up the stats here in the first half. Going to try it again. Over the middle, incomplete. And again, a lot of people in the middle of the field there.
Well, that time, Terry Mickens, that's about as open as I've seen a receiver today. He had a chance to catch this and run for a few yards because they did create a little traffic jam inside, but Rich Gannon not able to hit him in stride.
A lot of speculation here in the Bay Area about and wasn't able to go with the bad left wrist. Then it would go to Bobby Hoying, fourth-year quarterback out of Ohio State.
And I don't think it's had any bearing on what's happened so far. This is the Miami Dolphins defense doing this, not Rich Gannon's left wrist.
He needs the 36-yard line for a first down, and he goes down at the 21. Lorenzo Bromell.
What a good job by the Dolphins front four. I did not think they would have the discipline to stay in their lanes. Just watch how they Rich Gannon nowhere to run. Rich Owens comes out, and then finally you make him stand in there long enough, somebody's going to break free. Lorenzo Bromell does it.
McDuffie and Jaquette deep for the punch from Syracuse. At the 25, it's McDuffie, and goes down at the 33-yard line. Just a 5-yard return off a 53-yard punt. We remind you next Sunday here on CBS. There were a couple of kids who wanted to start a band, but they wound up starting a revolution. It's the music that rocked the world. Don't miss the biggest musical miniseries event ever. Shake, Rattle, and Roll next Sunday on CBS. Phil, set your VCR.
All right, I will. I'm looking at Rich Gannon, that last hit he took. I'm sure what happens is when you get that left wrist, it's broken in two spots. When you take a direct hit to it and you hit the ground, it's going to cause a little pain and irritation for a while.
And Bobby Hoying begins to loosen up.
Now, he was getting a lot of snaps in practice. We saw practice on Friday, and Bobby Hoying was taking at least 50%. So he knows the offense, has a good feel for it.
Heward, play action, over the middle, complete. Collins out of the backfield for a pickup of about 4 to the 38-yard line. And there is a look at Rich Gannon. You know, he kept saying to us yesterday, it's just a little discomfort.
Well,
and I kept saying, well, it's broken. It's broken.
Well, that's right, Greg, and it probably is not a problem during the week, but here's the problem when you get in these games and you don't think about it until somebody about 280 pounds lands on you, and the vibration and everything that happens on your wrist, that's when you get that big pain.
Running play up the middle is Collins. Well, you know, someone 285 pounds, to me, it really doesn't matter if your wrist is broken or not.
Well, that's right. It's going to hurt, but it's going to hurt to make that wrist hurt. Let's take a look at it. Rich Gannon doesn't seem, gets hit, falls to the ground, and he is now walking into the locker room. So
Rich Gannon makes his way to the locker room as we take another look at the hit from behind. And his left wrist was caught in that mix. Meanwhile, 3rd and 5 for the Dolphins. Straight drop throws, almost intercepted by Charles Woodson.
There is no doubt, as I watched Damon Heward today try to execute the offense, he is not near as sharp as he was the first 2 games. The ball seems to be slipping out of his hand. Watch this throw. As he goes down the field, it might have got tipped that time. I think it did. That's why it's short. But he's not controlling the football the way he has the first 2 games, and he's given the Raider defense a chance to make some plays.
Hutton's punt. Darian Gordon from the 16 and tripped up, and a penalty marker is down. O.J. Brigant's in there on the tackle. And now let's check the flag. Dolphins special teams play has been pretty good so far here this afternoon.
Well, what Pete Carroll told us a couple of weeks ago about the special team, he says, man, they just play. It's so up-tempo, it's hard to stay in there with them. And, Greg, we even said during the commercial, you watch them run down the field, no matter what it's on, they're faster than the other team.
Here's Ron Winter.
Tripping. There we go.
It is.
Show his feet. There we go. See, we usually zero in. We want to get a good look at him. Let's watch the tripping here. Larry Izzo, 53, I think it is. No, it's O.J. Brigant's, number 57.
During the return, tripping, number 57 of the kicking team. A 10-yard penalty. First down.
So it's a first down for the Raiders. They're the beneficiaries of the penalty, and Bobby Hoying has committed quarterback for the Raiders.
Well, he's worked with John Gruden before. Bobby Hoying in Philadelphia was the starter there. John Gruden was the offensive coordinator, knows the well. He was traded out here this summer. So very familiar with the Raider offense.
Hoying from his own 30, seeing his first action of this NFL season. Coming this side, Kaufman across the 30 to about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line.
Well, when you watch it, it's just, I can't, as I watch this Miami, it is incredible. They just dare you. There are so many guys up there, and the corners are up on the receivers. The safeties are close. And what did John Gruden say? He says sometimes the safeties are closer to the line of scrimmage than Zach Thomas, the middle linebacker. So he says it's hard to block all the guys when they're up there.
On 2nd and 6, Hoying to throw his first pass, far side and their side, and it is complete to James Jett, and for a first down.
Well, this is why the Miami Dolphins, they want to force you to throw it outside, because look what you got to do. You got to throw the ball perfectly. You got to make a good catch, James Jett, because Terrell Buckley is going underneath. If that ball is 1 foot shorter, it's a touchdown the other way.
James Jett pulling it away from Terrell Buckley, who had visions of taking it to the end zone. Clock continues to move. We're inside of 3.5 minutes for the first half. Richie in the backfield on first down. Pitch to Wheatley. Wheatley with a couple of Dolphins to beat, and he picks up a couple on the play. Let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin?
Thanks, Greg. As you mentioned, Rich Gannon went into the locker room. The initial report from the Raiders is that his wrist is getting, quote, rechecked. After halftime, we'll have a further report as they take a look at him. Back to you.
All right, Rich. Boy, Rich Gannon. Oh, thank you, Armin.
No, Armin couldn't deal with the pain.
Oh, but I could.
Yeah, you could. You're a tough guy.
Rich Gannon today, just 1 of 12 for 14 yards, an interception, sacked 3 times. Last time the Dolphins were here, Donald Hollis was just 12 of 31, was intercepted 6 times and sacked 8 times. Hoying gonna go deep and overthrows everybody. James Jett, the former track star, and Sam Madison was right along with it.
Well, let's just take a look. The Miami front four, watch the pressure they put up in the middle. Just pushing the pocket. And who is that gets the hit? I can't see the number. Looks like Tim Bowens, number 95. Oh, that is a big man. Tim Bowens, he's in there really to stop the run and just push the pocket. That time he got a little extra, got the hit on the quarterback.
To get a first down, the Raiders have to get just over midfield. Neither team excelling on third down here today. Point throws complete, but short of first down yardage is Tim Brown.
Well, I think we've seen enough so far in this game to know if you're the Raiders and you want some success on offense throwing the football, go outside. Give your guys one-on-one, throw it outside. That way you know the safeties can't get involved.
We come up on the 2-minute warning right now. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. The Miami Dolphins with a 10-3 lead. We'll be right back. The NASDAQ halftime report. Jim, Craig, Randy, Jerry getting you caught up on scores and highlights on the NASDAQ halftime report.
What's Jerry Glanville? What's he dress up as or in Halloween? What's he do?
I believe he's dressed as a coach.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just asking. It wasn't. What I really wanted to ask you, though, we talked all week. Is the game ugly enough? Is it? Is it living up? It's, you know, there you go. Now that's,
well, not that ugly.
Yeah, that's ugly. But, you know, it's kind of fun to do these games and to watch it. Everybody complains. Everything's set up for the offensive now. And I tell you, the defenses, they're getting some revenge this year.
Eric was kicking to O.J. McDuffie. Punt hits at the 2 and bounces back. And the Raiders down it inside the 5-yard line. Jermaine Williams down there to grab the loose football, and a terrific kick by Leo Aragus, 49 yards.
Well, what happens, Greg, in games like this, when it's offenses are having so much trouble and defenses are dominating the pace of play, what team has the most patience? In other words, if you take that chance or somebody makes a mistake when they really don't have to, and it turns the game the other way, that's kind of what both coaches, they could be waiting for, because you can see neither offense is just going to go up and down the field and score a nice smooth drive for 80 yards.
Both teams with their full allotment of timeouts, and under 2 minutes, every play automatically reviewed upstairs. And they'll start out on the ground. Straight ahead for a couple is J.J. Johnson. You know, you're talking about, well, we'll get back to that when we come back, but there's a timeout on the field, and it stops the clock. 1:43 to play. Johnson has finally found the man to carry the Dolphins running game, Cecil Collins. In depth only on www.nfl.com. Timeout called by the Raiders to stop the clock. And the Dolphins will keep it on the ground, and running room over the 15 and out to the 18-yard line is J.J. Johnson. 12 yards and a first down.
Yeah, what happened, Greg? The Raiders were guessing pass, and they go with the blitz. Look on the outside. Here he comes. Eric Clown on the blitz. Greg Beaker, the linebacker, on the blitz, too. They're thinking the Dolphins might go with a play-action pass. The run Good call, picks up the first down.
You were talking about whether or not each team is going to stay patient. It really doesn't look like either team at this point has the ability to do anything other than what they've been doing so
That's
far.
right. That's it. Especially the Miami Dolphins. Jimmy Johnson, he's not going to take a chance now. He can see his defense is dominating play.
On the ground again across the 20 to about the 22-yard line is Johnson.
We'll see the Raiders. I would call a timeout here.
Clock continues to move.
Because all the Miami Dolphins want to do, they want to get in at halftime. They're not going to try to score. They're going to run the football again. Maybe they'll do it after this play. Somewhere they're going to. Don't have enough timeouts to stop it after every single play.
2nd and 7, half a minute to play in the first half. And it'll be another running play. And this time Johnson breaks free. 30, 35, out to the 40-yard line. And a first down for the Dolphins. 20-yard pickup, and the clock continues to move. And now the Dolphins call a timeout.
Well, Jimmy Johnson has been talking about this rushing game for 4 years down in Miami, and it really hasn't gone the way he wants. But look at today. J.J. Johnson, 47 yards. Cecil Collins.
And Damon Ewert.
And they're just, what happens in this year, and we're starting to see it, if you just keep being aggressive and your runners run hard and you have a chance because you got a good defense and you can be patient, you get some of these runs.
Jimmy Johnson. Sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, is it going to be pretty? No, it's not. It's not. It's not explosive. But look, when your defense plays the way it does, you can do this. You can win a lot of 16-10s, 20-7, those type of games.
You've been showering praise on this Miami defense, rightly so. If the score stays this way, it'll be the second straight week they've allowed the opposition 3 points in the first half. Raiders just 61 total yards here in the first 2 quarters. Ewert from the shotgun. Under pressure and goes down at the 30-yard line. Tony Bryant and Darrell Russell for the second sack of the game.
Well, that's actually a good play by Damon Ewert. Don't take a chance. Don't throw it down the middle of the field if any problems come. But Darrell Russell, Tony Bryant, number 94, a rookie from Florida State. He has really done a good job so far this year. And, hey, that time he forced the quarterback up, and Darrell Russell, number 96, is going to get half of a sack for that.
Miami uses its second timeout.
And why I kind of laugh when I say that is Darrell Russell has been causing a lot of havoc, but he's not getting that statistical glory that comes sometimes from playing well on defense. In other words, he's not getting the sacks. He's making the quarterback move, and some of the other guys are running in and cleaning up.
We get such a kick out of talking with him, and you know, it's nice that a guy 6'5", 320 has such a wonderful personality, because you hate to think of it any other way. 15 seconds to play here in the first half. Ewert with time, guns it, complete, and almost to the 40-yard line is Stanley Pritchett. Pickup of 9 on the play.
4 points on the board.
4 wide receivers on what should be the final play of this first half, barring a penalty. Ewert goes down for the 3rd time here in the first half. Darrell Russell along with Grady Jackson. And Russell pointing at Grady Jackson saying, hey, he made himself a pretty good play here. Let's go to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Coach.
The football start the second half. Calvin Branch and Napoleon Kaufman are deep for the kick from Olindo Mare. And this one will sail into and out of the end zone. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders from their own 20-yard line. Halftime statistics, you know, the Miami Dolphins lead the NFL in time of possession. And they led it in the first half.
And it's not because they're really good on offense. That's not why they lead the NFL. It's because they go out and get the ball and run it 3 times, and it takes 2 minutes off the clock. They punt it, and their defense stops to the team who throws it a couple times, and that's really what it's about. Their defense enables their offense to lead the NFL in time of possession.
Can't fault the Raider defense. The Raider defense played some pretty good football in the first half.
Played very well.
John Ritchie and Napoleon Kaufman in the backfield to start things off here in the second half, and Gannon back at quarterback.
A pass.
Gonna loft it down the sideline this way, complete. Midfield and out of bounds is Tim Brown.
Well, I know it's going to be a pass. As I heard Rich Gannon yell out a word term, it's started with the 49ers about 20-some years ago with Bill Walsh, and all the people that run this offense through Mike Comer and John Gruden, they have the same audible system, so when you hear it, you know they're down the field against a one-on-one blitzing defense.
10 seconds gone here in the first half, and already Gannon has completed as many passes as he completed in the first half. This time on the ground, Kaufman up the middle for a couple. Robert Jones there to make the stop after a 3-yard pickup.
Greg, that was a good example. Rich Gannon audibilizing, Tim Brown going down the sideline. What John Gruden talked about to us, and that's what he just said to Armin Katayan, just make some plays. That's what it's about. You put your players, you give them a chance. Sometimes you got to beat the defensive guy.
Tim Brown, by the way, had a career high 190 yards receiving in last week's win against the New York Jets. Gannon on second down under the blitz, and it's incomplete. See the kind of day Gannon has had trying to throw the ball. 3rd and 7. The pitch to Randy Jordan. Left side, running room. First down, out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Brock Marion ran him out, and a pretty nice call by the Raiders.
Another nice.
First down, Raiders now at the 33-yard line. Kaufman, not much there. In fact, he may have lost a yard on the play.
See, big fellow inside, hard to block.
Randy Jordan flanked to the far side of the field as a wide receiver. Gannon over the middle, has his man, complete to Tim Brown. Inside the 25-yard line, and close to a first down. It is a first down.
That was a nice little change-up by the Raiders that time. They're having so much trouble throwing it inside. Watch what happens. Here comes Terry Mickens. Okay, there goes Zach Thomas. It opens up the middle. Good strategy, change it up. Send one guy through, clear it out. Second receiver comes through. Tim Brown, it's open.
Wheatley back on the field. First down, Wheatley with the handoff. And pulls his way down, and now a penalty marker comes flying in. It's a personal foul against the Raiders. Gannon tipped over the middle, it's incomplete. And John Ritchie was the intended receiver, hitting the midsection.
Oh boy, and that ball gets tipped. Of course, we've seen enough of it today. You keep throwing this ball over the middle, it's just, I didn't realize as I watched films and got ready for the game that how much the Raiders throw the ball. You know, now I think back, yeah, Tim Brown caught almost every single pass last week over the middle of the ball. So much of their passing game is designed for short crossing routes. Some of those defenders are staying.
2nd and 24. Gannon steps up, throws to the 20, and inside the 20-yard line is Jermaine Williams. That's a 20-yard pickup. They need the 12-yard line for a first down. Gannon batted down at the line of scrimmage.
When the defensive lineman, or that time Patrick Surtain, number 23, if you stay in your lanes and you're very disciplined against Rich Gannon, as you watch him throw, he drops down all the time. Watch the angle of the throw. He gets low, sidearm a lot, tries to throw through the lanes.
And now Michael Houston from 34 yards out. Straight and true. John Gruden figures he should have come away with more, but he'll settle for it right now. 10-6, Miami. And Taylor on the sideline as the Raiders kick it away. On the far side of the Marion to the 15. Tripped up and falls forward to about the 19-yard line. Calvin Branch made the stop, and we'll pause again and come back to Oakland in just a moment. And our ace CBS Sports crew here in Oakland, California. Raider crowd wants this defense to rise up and stop the Dolphins right here. First down from their own 20-yard line, and Heward will throw. Far side, complete. And that's enough for a first down to Tony.
Got to get ready. I got to direct this thing, and we got to get ready for the next game. And I think that's the kind of hurdle he's got to cross right now.
From the 32, they'll keep it on the ground with Cecil Collins, who picks up a couple. Number of passes. On the ground again. Big running room across the 40 and out to the 45-yard line. Cecil Collins, and it's a first down. Number 4 for him in Miami with the Dolphins. Heward has his man complete. Gadsden inside the 25, fighting his way inside the 20-yard line. 36 yards.
What a...
Heward's going to throw. Under the pressure and won't escape it. Down at the 23-yard line. Darrell Russell. What he was. He's had a heck of a game today on the ground. And tripped up just past the line of scrimmage is Cecil Collins. Eric Turner there for the stop and a pickup of about a yard.
Go out there and dominate.
Big play on both sides here on 3rd and 14. Heward wide over the middle, hits his man Oronde Gadsden, and Gadsden to about the 17-yard line. That's short of a first down. 30 yards. This is a 35-yarder. And it looks pretty good. Olindo Mare working like clockwork. Stops the clock on the field. And the Miami Dolphins lead is now 13. 4 yards in 8 plays in just under 5 minutes. Capped by Olindo Mare's 34-yard field goal. And they lead at 13-6. Mare's kick. Napoleon Kaufman from the 3. 15, 20, 25. Squirts out, loose ball, penalty marker down. Dolphins covered the fumble. Sean Wooden, but let's check the marker.
Holding. Number 27 of the return team. The penalties decline. Result of the play with a fumble recovery. First down.
First. And they'll keep it on the ground, and J.J. Johnson not much there for him, maybe about a yard.
On defense and even offense are going to make the plays when it counts.
Heward, deep drop. Batted at the line of scrimmage, and Heward comes down with the football.
Damon Heward has done a good job today of distributing the ball to all his receivers, and hey, add his name to the list now.
Steps up, throws, sideline, incomplete, overthrew everybody. Tony Martin was there.
That was a good stand by the Oakland Raiders defense. If you'd let the Miami Dolphins...
That'll be long enough, but this one feels right. Jimmy Johnson says, well, that's all right, and it will be as long as his defense holds up. Oakland gets the football when we come back. Raiders with the ball, their own 31. Gannon with time, going deep. Penalty marker is down as he overthrows everyone. James Jett on the fly, and Sam Madison was alongside him. And it's against the Dolphins. Gannon going to throw. Pump fake. Has his man open. Complete. Tim Brown.
There we go, Greg. That's what you want to do. When you know you have the single coverage outside, try to exploit it. That time, you protect the quarterback. Look, you let him make a move down the field instead of just running down. Watch Tim Brown. Instead of now making the cut and catching it. Cut, second move. Sam Madison trying to go first move. When you play corners aggressively as these Dolphins do, corners do, you're going to give up some big plays down the field.
Give the credit to Tim Brown on the move because Sam Madison wasn't looking and didn't see the pump fake. Kaufman. And not much there. No gain on the play. It'll be about on 2nd and 9. Gannon going to go for it all. Has his man open and overthrew him. Tim Brown had his man beaten down the sideline.
Well, this is really interesting. This is a couple times, 3 times in a row. And Sam Madison, because Tim Brown is moving at the line of scrimmage. See, Sam Madison cannot get that jam on him. And Tim Brown, I don't know if he had a deep route or not. He just took off because he knew he beat him at the line.
We specifically talked with these two players about their matchup.
Right.
Tim Brown said, you know, that Sam Madison could be one of the really great ones if only he wouldn't talk so much.
Yeah. He does like to talk on the field, and usually, Greg, I would say that bothers me, but he only does it in a fun way and doesn't say anything to the offensive player.
Gannon throws incomplete, intended for his tight end, Ricky Dudley. Houston from 47 yards out. Houston's kick is going to be good. Houston registers his 3rd field goal of 3:14 to play here in the 3rd, and Miami leads at 13-9.
So you can come here and have a little fun on Sundays watching the games and competing in them.
From the 8-yard line, it's Brock Marion. 20, 25, 30, 35. He breaks a tackle to the 40 and down at the 45-yard line. 37-yard return, and we'll take this opportunity to remind you, NFL Pritchett and Collins behind Heward.
Pass play. Nope.
Collins just barely back to the line of scrimmage. Richard Harvey, linebacker, number 52, helping out with the tackle.
See, I thought
the crowd cheering the Raider defense. Heward to throw. Down at the 36-yard line. James Harris. 5th time to Heward has been sacked.
But it could have been helmet to helmet.
3rd and 18. Defensive backs drop off over the middle. It is incomplete, and a penalty marker is down.
Lineman,
this may be against Miami.
Yeah, lineman downfield, Greg. Again, the quarterback on the quarterback. No yards on a running play.
Darian deep for the punt. Fair catch, and he pulls it in at the 30-yard line. So the 33-yard punt, fair caught at the 30, and Rich Gannon will have some decent field position.
He's got to fight and make it happen.
See how the Raiders have come alive in this quarter in the total yards department. Gannon, quick pass this side, complete. Tim Brown out of bounds, just short of first down yardage. Brock Marion forced him out.
One of those.
2nd and short yardage on the ground, and a first down. Tyrone Wheatley.
And what did Tim Brown say to us? We asked him, I said, hey, now is Coach John Gruden, does he have one of those little special boxes on his play sheet that says Tim Brown at the top of it? And he goes, oh yeah, he's got one of those. Our playmaker.
Randy Jordan is a wide receiver, top of the screen. Quick pass this side, incomplete. Intended for Brown, and Derek Ross there. And boy, Tim
catch passes.
Brown matched up at the bottom of the screen on Terrell Buckley. They'll keep it on the ground with Wheatley, though, and Wheatley to the 45 and a pickup of 2.
That's a good graphic. It tells you how hard it is for both of these teams to be successful. That's why third down is being so tough on them.
Rich Gannon lets the clock wind down. That's the end of the third quarter with the score Miami 13 and Oakland 9. And fourth quarter will be, no doubt, the decision maker. 13-9. Miami in the lead as we start the fourth. Gannon with time over the middle. Nobody there. Incomplete. Closest player to it was Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, John Gruden on the sideline yelling at the officials. He wants interference on the inside, but really the defenders, they are standing there waiting for those Raider receivers to come across the middle.
McDuffie and Jaquette deep. Harriger's high floating punt. Fair catch called for at the 18-yard line by McDuffie. And that'll stop the clock as we're underway here in the fourth quarter, and we'll be right back. Relief of Dan Marino, Damon Huard in his third season in the NFL. 12 of 24, 167 yards and a reception today. He's been sacked 5 times by this Raider defense. First down from his own 18. The pitch to Johnson. About 2 on the play, and we go to Armin Katayan. Armin?
You know, Greg, we talked about this hostile environment with Damon Huard last night, and he very calmly, he goes, oh yeah, when I was a junior at the University of Washington, we went down to Miami, we beat the Hurricanes, blew them out, ending their 58-game home winning streak. I can tell you, though, listening to this crowd and what it's looked like around here for the last 5 minutes, Huard has never faced anything like this. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thanks. They'll keep it on the ground. And out to the 25-yard line is J.J. Johnson. And we check in with Jim Nantz in New York for an NFL Today update.
All right, thank you, Greg and Phil. No contest out of the in Arizona because Drew Bledsoe is on fire. He has matched the career high 4 touchdown passes in one game. This one to Terry Glenn, and the Patriots pounding the Cardinals as they start the fourth quarter. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, you know, it's a good thing Drew Bledsoe can thread a pass because that Terry Glenn was really covered well, wasn't he?
The defender was disguised as grass, you know.
3rd and 2, quarterback draw. Huard diving forward. And Tony Bryant made the stop. Looks like he got enough for the first down.
Just got it. And Armin, I think Armin is right. I've always thought this stadium, and yet I've been here, I don't know, close to 10 times, that if the crowd really gets behind the team, it's hard for the opposing team to communicate and get much done because it can get loud enough to stop all that communication on the field.
Plus, you got to deal with that guy. First down. Huard pump fakes and goes deep down the near sideline. It is incomplete. Charles Woodson went up with O.J. McDuffie. You know, Charles Woodson got off the ground.
Well, there's a reason why he won the Heisman Trophy. It just wasn't because he got a lot of publicity.
Well, that too.
Well, that helps, and he played for a good team and all that. Charles Woodson, number 24. It's unanimous. Everybody you talk to, coaches, players, receivers, whoever goes against him, they say nothing but good things. He is a special corner in the National Football League.
2nd and 10. On the ground with J.J. Johnson. 35. First down yardage across the 40 to about the 43. That's a 13-yard pickup.
Well, that was a good-looking run by J.J. Johnson. You can see when he comes into the game what a different style he brings in there. He just has a little more leg action. I think just has an extra step to him that enables him to get outside. And because of the way he runs, so determined, he's big and all those things, he's able to break tackles. And every time he's touched it so far today, he's broken 1 or 2 tackles to pick up some good yards.
Charles Woodson was the first one to wrap him up. Coming to this side is Johnson. And nothing there for him this time around. Lost about 3 on the play.
You know, we had a chance, Greg, you talked about it, to go back. Got a chance to talk to Charles Woodson, and we know that he's a good defensive back. We saw him practice the other day. They actually had him in at wide receiver, and all of his defensive teammates were all yelling decoy when he went out there. And I thought, but when you talk to John Gruden, you talk to Rich Gannon, the quarterback, they tell you that he has the ability to not only be a good receiver, but one of the best. And I was like, I was floored to hear that. I think someday soon you're going to see Charles Woodson playing some receiver for the Oakland Raiders.
Heward, deep drop. Coming across the field, incomplete. As Heward picks himself up off the deck. Aronde Gadsden was the man coming across the middle.
Well, the Raiders, Lance Johnstone, number 51 down at the bottom. They're one of these teams. They don't have to blitz you a lot to get to the quarterback. They talented front four. That was close. That could have drawn a penalty very easily. But they have the ability up front to get to the passer without sending linebackers and extra defensive backs.
Miami 2 out of 12 on 3rd downs today. Heward needs the 47-yard line of the Raiders for a first down. Over the middle, has his man, complete first down and more, Gadsden. 28, first down.
And this is all Damon Heward this time. The Raiders, when you play this type of defense, they're thinking the quarterback 1, 2, 3 is going to throw. Heward moves, gets that extra second, and now the defense just disintegrates. That's why he's wide open over the middle.
Clock continues to move.
It's amazing what that extra second, what it does for quarterbacks and receivers and the defense when the defensive line doesn't get pressure.
Cecil Collins back into the game, and he gets the handoff, and he gets nothing. And James Harris was there. You cannot say enough about this front four of the Oakland Raiders today.
Well, Greg, it's supposed to play well. It really is. So the talent's there, the experience, they're coached well. They're supposed to get it. Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator, I like his philosophy. He had so many good things to say on Friday. We talked to him, and we'll get a chance. Maybe we'll somehow try to explain them.
Quick pass this time, and it's complete to Tony Martin. Inside the 25 to about the 23, and a pickup of 9 on the play. Let's go back to Willie Shaw.
Well, there's so many things. One, he says, I like to keep it pretty simple on defense, especially early. He goes, you know, it's like going to a baseball game. I don't want after one inning to stack my bats up and have to go home. And I go, good philosophy. I like that. He enables his players, get them in the flow of the game before we get a little more complicated and start showing what we're going to try to do to make those plays.
As we get the measurement out here, he also said, you know, I'm well aware that I'm here to teach people, and I know who the stars of the game are. I don't know many people out in the stadium who come to see Willie Shaw coach.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he talked about the movement of players. It made so much sense. The coaches now in this league have a bigger role more than ever, is because you can't get 15 or 20 players in your team and keep them for 5 or 6 years. They move a lot, so your coaches have to provide more leadership than they ever did before, because you don't have that core of players to take care of it for you.
Big play here for both the Dolphins and the Raiders. 3rd and 1, the 11th play of this drive. You see what Heward needs for a first down. Johnson and Conrad in the backfield. Heward going to keep it.
He didn't make it. Shouldn't say that. That was a little quick.
You already did.
Yeah, I know. Can I take it back?
No. Stick with your guns.
It's
Hang in there.
It's like when you do something to your mom. Oh, I'll take it back. I didn't mean to do it. Well, Damon Heward, he's a little too quick with this, trying to go off around the guard from the quarterback sneak. Get a little separation, let the line fire out, then go.
This is going to be really close.
Watch the quarterback sneak. See what? Oh yeah, he ran in. He stepped on the back of his offensive lineman, their feet, and he falls down just immediately.
See there, partner? You were right.
All right, good. See, I didn't second guess myself.
They're writing this down in the truck.
Well, this is a big decision by Jimmy Johnson. 13-9. Watch the sneak. See if you can see him. There you go. Stepped on the right guard. Well, Jimmy Johnson's going to go for it. Well, Greg, is it a quarterback sneak or does he hand it off?
Dolphins 5 of 7 on 4th down attempts this year. He keeps it again.
Oh, he got it. See, I got that one too. See, I jumped right in there. Well, I tell you what, that time the difference in that sneak is they came up to the line of scrimmage and he beat the Oakland defense with the snap count. He catches them off guard. He goes right up, gets under the center, and boom, it's gone. The Raiders didn't have that second to really dig in there and push the offensive line back.
So it's a 1st down at the 21-yard line. Clock continues to move, 8.5 to play here in the 4th quarter. 13th play of the drive. And they'll keep it on the ground with Johnson. Johnson reaching forward to the 7. And Eric Turner with the tackle. It was interesting, Jimmy Johnson, Armin Katayan posed the question to him with a heavy part of what is considered the heavy part of the Miami Dolphins schedule coming up. And Jimmy Johnson said, you know, with the way the NFL is this season, they're pretty much all the same.
Well, that's true too, but you know, Jimmy, he doesn't give anybody credit. Look, it's us. I don't care about them. We'll play. We'll beat them. Let's go.
Heward rolls, throws, batted down. Williams was right in the line of fire.
That's just a good job of the Raider defense. Good discipline, good distribution of the players, everybody in position. Katie Williams knocks it down.
Damon Heward looked around like Katie Williams wasn't supposed to be there.
Well, that play, Greg, I've talked about it so many times this year. That used to be a gimme in the National Football League. Fake it, go the other way, throw it. Now the defense, they've seen it so much, they react well to it and stop it.
Another big 3rd down play for Heward and the Dolphins, and they're going to keep it on the ground. Johnson, 15, diving forward to the 11. And he's going to be pretty close.
Well, we could have us another decision. That's a good call by the Dolphins. They're not going to give their young quarterback a chance to make a mistake in this situation. Jimmy Johnson, you're up by 4. Let's run it. If we don't make it, we'll kick the.
So he's looking at a 4th down here. And now a timeout is called, and they're going to measure it. And the play clock was down to 17, and now it'll be reset to 25.
Well, that's good. The Dolphins are the ones that said, give us a measurement, and they should. That's what you should do. It gives you time to think about what decision you're going to make, but you really want to know if it's 6 inches or 1.5 feet.
More like 1.5 feet.
I say he kicks it. He's trying to see how much it is. Unless you know you got to play, you can ram it up in there.
Heward looking off to the side.
Otherwise, you'd run a quarterback sneak or something like that. You're leaving it into the hands of the officials to where they spot it.
See, now you were on a roll, and then you said Jimmy's going to kick the field goal, and well, Heward is going to go for it on 4th down.
They still got to snap the ball.
3 tight ends. This time the handoff, Cecil Collins, and he didn't look like he made it. K.D. Williams, Chuck Osborne leading the charge, and the ball goes over to Oakland. Back to Oakland, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. The Oakland Raiders take over deep in their own territory, trailing 13-9, and Gannon to throw. Over the middle, incomplete. And I'm sure, Phil, you and I won't be the last to question Jimmy Johnson about his call. You consider he has a defense that's only allowed the opposition a field goal in each of the last 2 games in the fourth quarter.
Well, a lot of reasons why, Greg. I didn't think he would go for it. One, that it was about 1.5 feet to go, maybe really close to it. You've seen all day the Raiders' defensive front has done a good job. And how many times have you heard me say in the National Football League, when you run that type of play in those situations, the defense is winning most of those battles?
Gannon. In and out of the hands of Terry Nickens as he came over the middle. That one had the chance of getting the Raiders out of a hole.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good throw by Rich Gannon. Look at the stats, 6 of 26. He was in good rhythm starting again. I thought he had it going again at the start of the second half, but that time just a quick throw, too much on it, and when they're that close, you got to hit them perfectly, right into the stomach. You cannot make the receiver reach for the ball when they're running full speed.
Now a big game on offense, or a big play on offense. 4 wide receivers. The pitch to Jordan. Jordan, right side. He's tripped up just as he reaches the line of scrimmage. Gain of 1 for the play.
Well, they've run the ball now, and a Longs and picked it up. That was a different look that time. Instead of the shovel pass, it was pretty much the same premise, but he threw it backwards that time.
Here's Leo Aragus. Jacket, McDuffie deep. Big kick by Aragus. Jacket from the 36. Midfield. 40 and tripped up there just inside the 40-yard line by Calvin Branch. 25-yard return. Gives some pretty good field position to the Miami Dolphins. New choice in the morning when returns to morning television with Jane Clayson on the early show.
That is not nice. Talk about your brother. Be proud of your brother.
Bryant Gumbel returning. A new day to start your day. The early show tomorrow on CBS.
I wish one of my brothers was doing the morning show.
Cecil Collins across the line of scrimmage, picks up about 3 on the play. KD Williams with the stop.
I just want to make sure. I'm going to call you. We're taking the red eye home tonight, and I'm going to call you in the morning. I'm going to make sure you're watching the show tomorrow morning.
I may still be on the plane, Phil.
No excuses. Get home, turn that TV on.
Oh, he'll send me a tape. I'm not worried about that. Second and 8. Heward. Far side has his man out of bounds, complete to Tony Martin. 14 yards and a first down.
Well, that's a good job by Damon Heward and the Miami Dolphins. Don't take a chance throwing it over the middle. Tony Martin, when you're guarding him, you got to respect him going deep. And Eric Allen, this time of the game, this place, you're getting to where you got to play tighter and maybe take a chance.
Oh, look at the numbers on the day. Completed half his passes. And he has a first down now at the 23. Collins. Big hole. Penalty marker down as Collins is brought down at the 5. See if a holding call pushes the Dolphins back, and it will.
Well, that's a game saver for the Oakland Raiders. Touchdown would almost end the football game.
A 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's the fullback, Stanley Pritchett. You know, you've been talking about the fine running of J.J. Johnson. Cecil Collins showed a little burst of speed.
Yeah, he did
line.
that time. He did. And Stanley Pritchett, let's watch him, number 36. Here he comes through the hole. And, oh, you can see that right hand. It went around the defender. When you put those hands out there, you got a split second back inside.
He couldn't have done it better with handcuffs.
Oh.
Heward hands this one off. And Collins straight ahead for 3.
You know, when I was talking about Eric Allen when he was playing, I was wrong, really. What you got to do if you're the Raider defense, your number one goal here is to make sure all you give up is a field goal. and play the situations accordingly.
You're right. With this Miami defense, the way it's playing, a touchdown game effectively. Saw Miami's numbers running the football. How successful they've been today. Heward throws incomplete, batted down by Charles Woodson. What a terrific play by the second-year man out of Michigan.
Well, that was an interesting design by the Miami Dolphins. I think Damon Heward picked the wrong receiver. 2 chances down the field. He goes towards O.J. McDuffie. Nice play by Charles Woodson. Tough angle the whole way. Charles Woodson was in position. Coming across the other side, you had Tony Martin against Eric Turner, but it's easy from up here.
3rd and 17. Heward looking for the 18-yard line for a first down. Little pass right up the middle to Pritchett, and that gains very little, maybe 4. Lance Johnstone made the tackle.
Trying to get a few yards. Safe play, no chances. You can't turn it over, and just making an easier field goal for your place kicker.
Olindo Mare trots onto the field. He had a string of 19 consecutive field goals broken when he missed a 46-yarder. This one will be a 45-yard attempt.
I always wonder about kickers. Do they miss one? Do they come out? How do they think? Are they going to correct the mistake they made last time, or they just don't care? And
they're going to call this a 44-yard attempt, and the kick is good. So Olindo Mare, whether it's on his mind or not, he bounces right back and extends the Dolphins' lead to 16-9. Welcome back to Oakland for the Miami kickoff. Dolphins lead it by a touchdown, 16-9. Mare kicking. And this one off to the side, not a bounds. Look at Olindo Mare and tell he didn't want to do that.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Maybe they were trying to kick it to the left corner, and he just gave it the old big hook. And that ball will be spotted on the 40-yard line.
Jimmy Johnson kind of surprised Mare's 14 touchbacks, the most in the National Football League. John Gruden is now given a pretty good opportunity.
Oh, changes field 20 yards. That's huge.
So Gannon and the Raiders go to work 1st and 10 at their own 40. Gannon throws this side, complete, Tim Brown. And Brown across midfield for a 14-yard pickup and a first down. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS and the game between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. I'm Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. Our score 16-9. The Dolphins lead the Raiders. 60 minutes with a special interview with the illustrator of Peanuts will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Coming up on 2:45 to play. Rich Gannon throws the slant, and it is incomplete. The fans look for a penalty marker, and they're down. Terrell Buckley on Tim Brown, who has been the favorite target for the Raiders here today.
It's incredible, really. It is. I mean, I know you're going to Tim Brown, but they're just lining up, and every throw is going towards Tim Brown. And the one thing I've noticed,
pass interference. Number 27 in the defense. Penalized at the spot of the foul. First down.
Terrell Buckley, Tim Brown, top of your screen. What happened is his right hand, Terrell Buckley, was on the back of Tim Brown. He turned him, and when you turn him, they're going to throw the flag.
First down, 38. Gannon with all kinds of time over the middle, has his man, and now the ball comes loose. Zach Thomas has it.
Incomplete.
It is incomplete as Thomas is dragged down. Ricky Dudley was the intended receiver.
Well, the Dolphins, they've got their safeties back. They're worried about the big plays. And when you do that, it lets the tight end run down the middle. Gets Johnson. The ball hits him in the chest. Doesn't look like he ever gets total possession of the football. Good call.
2:31 to play.
Please reset the game clocks to 2:34.
We all stand corrected. We're talking about how many times the Raiders have thrown to Tim Brown this game. They've thrown to him 16 times, Phil. He's has 7 catches, 13 yards.
If Tim Brown would have been in this style of offense his whole career, his statistics would be every bit as dazzling as Jerry Rice's.
2nd and 10. Gannon goes down. Play is blown dead when he hits the ground. Trace Armstrong.
What a job by Trace Armstrong. He's on this team to come in and really pressure the quarterback on the top of your screen. Watch him. Just keeps fighting and fighting, and he comes out of nowhere, and Rich Gannon has no chance to get away.
Armstrong with his 2nd sack today. Oakland quarterbacks have been nailed 4 times. 3rd and 17. And a huge play for the Raider offense. Gannon goes down again. This time it's Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor just using his speed. Out quicken. Barry Sims, number 65. What a move right off the start by Jason Taylor. Gets around both people.
2 minutes to play here in the 4th. Jason Taylor applying the killer. Leo Aragus set to kick it away for the Raiders, we would presume, with 2 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter.
Got to kick it away. You got to stop the Miami Dolphins, and you could probably get the ball back with about 1 minute to play.
The Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining here in the 2nd half. This one will bounce inside and bounces back before it is finally. Once the game is over, except here on the West Coast. Big stand here for the Raider defense. Johnson with running room across the 25 and a pickup of 6 on the play.
You got to be disciplined, and you know they're going to run the football right at you.
They're going to run it again here too.
Don't overcommit.
Squeezing through and close to 1st down is Johnson. And 3rd and 1 for Damon Huard and the Miami Dolphins. Johnson, 1st down to the 33. And
no doubt, it's real good, and it's going to be a force all year long against no matter who they play, and that's why the Dolphins, they're going to be in the hunt, and they're going to be one of the teams you got to look at, not only going to the playoffs but having success because of their defense.
The Dolphins
really ready to run this football, and it might be for real too. This is a couple weeks in a row where they've lined up and just took it to the other team physically, and they've done a good job.
Zach Thomas, Sam Madison celebrate on the sideline. John Gruden takes the tough walk across the field as time winds down.